what is the thing about legislation that you're interested in? Which part of legislation?
Actually, I'm not very familiar with the legislation in contract management, but actually, I want to ask you on how actually it is going.
Um, that's why I want you guys to actually explore the idea first, because you cannot say that you want to do that legislation, and then I
Yeah.
have to come up with an idea for you. You see, because um that is not quite right lah. Yeah, I mean, like I told you at the moment I don't have any legislation or any contract related kind of questions that I have in mind at the moment lah. Yeah, I mean, like you can think
Oh, okay.
like um areas maybe like uh for construction, if we talk about legislation, there's a lot of things like occupational health and safety. That will
Yeah.
probably be related to legislation. Environmental issues will probably be related to legislation. And then labor, labor as in as in the pure labor. Yeah, that will be actually part of legislation as well. Yeah, like in
Okay.
use of foreign laborers, and legislation, especially in times of COVID like this. And I mean that could be something to explore as well. So you need to tell me what is your interest. Today I'm not here to tell you guys what uh what the topics are. The purpose for the meeting is actually for you guys to propose to me what are the areas that you want to do. Then I can confirm with you yes or no, and then we can proceed from there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
So can you think about it? Like which part of legislation that you want to do? I mean, like which part of I mean, you can type legislation of construction in Malaysia, and then from there you can actually get some ideas, and then Contract Act is actually the legislation, but I don't think we are qualified enough to actually look at Contract Acts of Malaysia, so I mean that one will probably be too legal and all that, that will require quite a firm law background to do,
Oh.
yeah. And then even the things like Engineers Act will also be part of legislation as well. Yeah. So like you cannot come and tell me that you want to do legislation. It's just that you come and tell me I want to do risk, then what part of risk, you see? So we need to be a bit more specific, huh? So you think about it, then I'll come back to you after I speak to the other two, huh? You just stay on and you listen to our conversation while you do some researching yourself, huh?
Okay, sure.
Right, Chang, I know you don't have much time. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you too. So, Chan, you say you want to do project management. So what kind of area in project management do you want to do?
What I can think of right now is just the project scheduling, like how important it is to our project, like analysis of the delay, cost overrun, risk involved,
Okay.
thing like that.
For scheduling is old story, okay? I mean, you can't do any research in that. It is important, you see. So if you think about delay analysis, that would be something quite interesting. That means you need to actually research into the techniques of delays and all that. I mean, I actually have a pure research student at the moment doing that. You can do that as well, but that would be a different, probably coming in from a different perspective. He is going in from the perspective of combining delays with contract management. So like he will look at all the different type of contracts that is available in Sarawak in Malaysia, such as like JKR form and all that. And then he's going to look at the current delay analysis that is related to contract, see, and how to merge them with contract. So that is what he's doing at the moment. That if you want to do, then delay analysis will be a bit more technical kind of delay analysis, such as you probably have to do a few case studies on find some of the delay because you guys are doing this like a research project, not a pure research. I think that would probably be sufficient. Like for example, you to study all the analysis technique and then apply that into you can apply that into your project and see how you're going to analyze delays and see which method is actually better and which method is actually providing a more accurate kind of final results, you see. So that could probably be a research project for masters by coursework, okay? And in terms of cost, that will also be a very interesting things to look at.
You mean like look into how the cost will affect, I mean by delays or what?
No, I mean, cost, if you want to look at delay and cost, could also be an interesting idea.
Oh, okay.
That's like delay and cost combination. Like, how the delay actually, how we can actually go about doing that, but that is why we need research. Anything here at the moment, I have no solution for you. In fact, to embark onto any research project, you guys have to realize that there is no solution at the end of that journey. You guys have to provide solution. And me as a supervisor, I don't have a secret answer, being put in my drawer, and then I'm waiting for you to give me the right answer so that I can give you the right answer kind of thing, and give you a mark like that. It's a journey that we embark onto together and we explore it together sort of things, and I will guide you as you go along, and then, like we exchange ideas and all that. That's why for RP, for all my research students from final year, undergraduate to master's to PhD level, I meet them every month. We have meetings like this every month, you see. So if you want to look at delay analysis, delay versus cost, any inspiration on that? Like, the effect of delays on cost. I mean, the effect of delays on cost actually is quite common now, honestly speaking. If you can search many literature and they will tell you that from delays, you definitely get some cost problems,
Yep.
So we need to find something to be more specific, to go into, to interrelate these two.
Like how you said just now, based on Sarawak contract, like how we solve the problem, so on.
Like if there's a delay, but that will be putting the focus into contract, so you'll be doing more on contract management, rather than rather than cost. So if you want to focus on contract management, if you're ready to focus on contract management, probably like that, if you want, like how different contract actually addressed.
Okay.
Don't address cost overrun. None of them actually do address cost overrun. In that sense, you probably they all address delay, but they don't address cost overrun. What do you do when there's a cost overrun? So that would probably be worth studying if you think about it. Yeah. So meaning that in all the contract, there is no such thing as if there's a cost overrun, they tell you what to do, kind of thing. So we probably have to explore different type of contract available internationally as well, and to see whether we can actually include delay costs, like the remedial actions. Could be something worth looking at, I would say. Your interest?
I'm okay with it.
You think about it first, then I will go back to I'll go to Mo first. He's speaking. So, yeah. Mo, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Good morning, Doctor.
Yes. Hi. So you tell me that you were interested in risk assessments for quarter maintenance. That would be part of operation and maintenance study, isn't it?
Yes. Because currently my role in GKR Kapit, actually I'm more focused on maintenance of existing quarters and then all the government asset properties, of which is buildings is under my roles to carry out the maintenance works.
So you have a lot of data on operation and maintenance, no doubt. Okay, so that is a plus point. Okay, we can take a lot of JKRs like from year to year, you know, the operation and maintenance, what sort of operation and maintenance that you do, you know, for your quarters and all that. But how do you think risk will come into the picture?
Risk when we cannot how to say the end the occupants is not satisfied with the expectation of their they're not satisfied with existing how their stays in the quarters.
Okay, so you do maintenance all over Sarawak or just in Kapit?
Yes.
Sorry, is it all over Sarawak or just in Kapit?
Just in Kapit divisions.
Do you want a study? I mean, like, if like I told you over the message, if it's a study, like you do a risk assessments, actually whatever you're telling me is not really risk assessment, you know, it's more on the complaint analysis, you know, satisfaction kind of level of thing, you know. So that is more like a customer service kind of questions, you know, which I would not be interested in doing research like that, you know. There is no value there, you see. Yeah, there's no value there in that sense, you see. So if we talk about risk, you know, that risk is actually a topic that is quite deep, you know. So you need to know like risk assessments is actually quite different, you know. I mean, like if you talk about risk and complaints, you know, like how you handle complaint or people are not happy with whatever you've done, you know, that is a different story, you know. Risk assessments, it means in the operation and maintenance, you know, what could go wrong, you know, and what is the factors causing it and what is the probability of that factors going wrong. And then you need to come up with a list of data such as what could go wrong and what are the possibilities of things going wrong in operation and maintenance of your quarters and all that. That would probably be a bit more reliable kind of research project. Okay.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to get at, huh?
Yes. Regarding how the maintenance program is goes wrong, can meet the requirement.
Yeah.
Maybe
So,
some
I think maybe you can do something like that. I mean, I'll probably be okay to do something like that. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I just do not want like, okay, you take a project and then you study, you know, like, you apply your current risk assessment method into the thing, you know, and then see what is the result, you know. That one cannot. That one is really just a project management, like a operation and maintenance kind of assignment kind of thing, you know. So I cannot allow that. You understand, huh? So let's say if you're taking your title and you're going in a direction such as, okay, I am taking a project and I want to know what are the risks of like you do a study, you know, you take the technique online, you know, on risk assessment, and then you apply that in the project and you calculate the risk and all that. Then you finish the project. That is not a research project. That is only an assessment studies that you can do for a risk management subject or a operation and maintenance subject. Okay, it's an assignment, 20-30% assignment. Okay, so we cannot have that. But if you're looking at, say, different kind of, like you're taking all your current project and then you're checking all the current, you're going through them and look at all sorts of different things that happen that cause the what are the bad things that happen, what are the causes of it, and then and then you study and then you find a pattern and then you create a framework for your future maintenance and operations checklist and all that. I think that will probably be a bit more interesting and more related to what we call research project. Even though this is the coursework, but there must be certain standard. You get what I mean? Yeah.
I try to look into it and then do some brainstorming.
Actually, we don't have much time anymore. Like we've got to decide more or less what we need to do by this week, and then from today's meeting, I actually do want everyone to go away with a particular topic, and I can brief you exactly on what to do in your research project one. If you guys want to take another week, I don't mind. I still can meet you next Monday to actually finalize the topic, but if you are sure, of course, we want to get started, but that will be week 2 already, bear in mind. And you need to finish your chapter 1 and 2 by the end of week 12, okay? So now you think about it, I go back to Haiza, and then I'll go one round like this, Okay, Haiza, so how?
Yeah. So based on your suggestion, I think I need to change yeah.
Can you go on? What was your topic when you're doing research in Unimas, the postgrad research? Who were you following?
Salary.
Okay, so what were you doing then?
I was doing the pavement material.
You were doing masters by research, right? You were following him
Yeah.
about undergraduate FYP,
Yeah.
Also, the masters by research, you're following Sir Larry, and then you're doing pavement analysis, that sort of things. Pavement design, is it?
Yeah, pavement design. Lab.
Material. Is it material?
Yeah, material. Lab work.
Okay, so you quit because you don't want to do lab work or you can't do lab work?
I quit because like there's time constraint due to COVID. So actually there's a change of topic last time, but then due to like personal thingy, so I need to quit. There's a research program.
But you are actually going to embark into a research project now, okay? Like a small research project, definitely a lot smaller scale than what you're getting in your masters by research, But then we will have to make sure that you are not going to keep on changing your mind, Because
Okay.
it's a big thing that you come from transport, pavement, down to project management at the moment. So you've got to know that doing all sorts of research, none of this is going to be easy. Any supervisor that you follow is not going to be easy, okay? I can tell you guys, I am not a very easy person to follow as a supervisor because I do have very, very specific things I want to see, in your thesis before I can let you off, and if you ask any of the seniors who follow me, you will know that, they can tell you that I'm quite a tough person. Not to say I'm tough person, I'm actually quite a direct kind of person when it comes to my research project and the way I take students, Many students, some of them couldn't take it, they will quit one,
Okay.
Yeah, but there's those who those who take it, they will finish it and they will get really good marks at the end, no problem one, yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
you have to be ready, I don't want you all to be the boys, I don't think it's too much of a problem, but you as a lady, I don't want you to start crying in front of me and that sort of things.
Okay.
You have to be prepared to finish it, okay? I mean,
Okay.
I do have a lady, she really cried so much, and then I gave up on her. I tell her that you better don't follow me, But I don't know for what reason she keep on wanting to stay with me. So then she actually took her like and semester, she finished all her subjects, but she keep on wanting to follow me. So she did like 6 semesters until the last semester she finished her research project like that, So I mean, I also don't want to supervise her already, but she end up really want to stick to that particular topic. So for me, I think it's a topic that is very important. You cannot like at the moment inspire, later on you go back, you can't find some data, and then you say, oh, Benjamin, I want to change topic again, All
Yeah.
research project is difficult to find data one. There's no such thing as easy to find data one. If easy to find data, that means everything is there already. You do it for what?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you have to be prepared. Okay. No and can't also you have to be prepared. You don't come to me and say that, oh, I can't find these things. So therefore, at week 7, I think I don't want to proceed anymore. I want to do something else,
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not going to supervise students like that. We've got to be sure of what we want to do. This must be your interest. This is fixed, and that's it. We are going to, by hook or by crook, you break your teeth, you have to finish it. Okay. Otherwise,
Okay.
don't change topic, change supervisor better.
Mm.
So what do you think? The topic just now I was mentioning.
Yeah, about that one, I think I need to browse more to give you more ideas, and see what can I brought
Tell
from
me what areas you're interested in. Like now you said legislation, and I mentioned that legislation is probably things like labor ordinances,
yeah.
occupational health and safety, and pure professional engineers act. These are a few things that I think we could probably do a bit of study on,
Mm-mm.
So any of these few areas that I've mentioned that will actually make you feel like you're more comfortable with that.
Mm, I haven't honestly I haven't sure for that yet.
You don't have to go online to search if there's a lot of topics
Yeah.
or a lot of things on that thing, because no matter what, there won't be much information really about certain things, you see. So,
Mm-mm.
or what about environmental issue like waste management, like how to handle the legislation on waste. That would
Yeah.
probably be something that is interesting. You can go to NREB and collect some of the data from there as well.
Mm-mm.
Um, like, occupational health and safety. I would actually tend to be a bit more interested in occupational health and safety. Yeah, and also maybe legislation, state legislation on uh, waste management, whether it's solid waste or waste water. That would be interesting from drainage.
Okay. I think I'm more comfortable with the occupational SFT, also due to COVID. So I will have more ideas on that.
Occupational health and safety. Interesting. So you are more interested. You feel like you think that you can go into things like now, especially with the add-on of COVID, right? How do you safeguard the safety and health of people on site, correct? Not
Mm-mm.
okay. We can set it as that. Okay, so don't change your mind after this,
Okay.
Okay. Full stop.
Okay.
Chan. What
Thank
what
you.
what about you?
Like I said just now, delay versus cost lah. But then I still need to look more specific into it.
So you want to do delay? Are you going to be focused onto the very technical study of delay and cost overrun? That would be nice, actually. You don't have to be everything contract, So, or you want to base it on contract, okay, but there won't be much things that has been done on that,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we can say that you are pretty much set on delay analysis, delay analysis.
Yeah.
Effect of delay. I won't say the effect of delays. If you say about the effect of delays, effects of delay over cost, it's a very, very stale, very boring kind of thing, because we all know that if there's a delay, there'll be a cost overrun, But if you can relate maybe different type of delays, different category of delays and how that affect cost and do a relationship study between that. Do you think you want to do that? That will probably be involving a bit on statistic kind of study as well. Like you probably need what SPSS, to do a bit of relationship study, Spearman correlations study. So you probably have to do a bit of survey work plus, data studies and that sort of things. Yeah.
Can try that, I mean.
Are you familiar with? You're from Swinburne, are you?
Yeah.
You are familiar with things like RII, relative index, RII, relativity index, that sort of things. Like do a bit of study on that,
Relative index.
Yeah, and then Spearman, like correlation index, like for example, how you correlate, like for example, in terms of weather analysis, let's say there's a delay in weather caused by weather. Okay, and your cost overrun will be say in which areas and how do you relate them to, how tightly are they related to delays, I mean, that particular category of delays, does it happen very frequently? I mean, like that particular overrun, how much of the overrun and what are the overruns, and that sort of things are like cost, like you're trying to relate the two together, like it's like time delay versus cost overrun. Then you're trying to find the relationship between different type of delays with different type of cost overrun. That sort of thing.
Okay. Now look into it for this.
Yeah. Can I mean like we can set it as delay and cost overrun. Just the effect of time and cost so we're not going to do a time versus cost study. We're going to do a delay versus cost overrun studies, okay? And you see what you can do with that, okay? And if you want to go by contract, you can do that also, but then additional if it's not enough,
But then can I just be specify in just like, as the project I'm handling right now is road construction. So I mean, like, can I just stress the delays and cost overrun study in road construction, some kind of things like this?
You can do in road constructions, but you cannot do it in one project. That will be not enough. So you just have enough data for road project.
Okay.
It will be by a case study format, okay?
Oh, okay, I get it.
If you do a survey format, then you probably, if you want to focus on roads, then you will have to go by the entire whole industry. You need to send out to people who are road contractors and road-based kind of project kind of people to fill up lah. But if you're going to do, for me your topic like this to correlate them, one project is not enough.
Yeah, because the data not enough also.
Yes, so you may have to have a few road projects, like at least 6 to 8 like that to actually have a good data.
Understood.
Do you have that kind of do you have that level of data with you?
I can access it. I mean, because our company got to Pen Borneo, there are many package in it.
There are many package, but you need to find other than pen volume as well, you know. So
Oh,
constantly, right?
yeah.
They have a lot of old project data. If you can access that, that's fine, you know. I mean, you don't have to fully concentrate on pen volume.
Mm-hmm.
If you concentrate on pen volume, then you really, really have to have a lot of data on it, you know. Otherwise, it's going to end up all the same, you know, because Pan Borneo is one project. So even if you do package A, package B, package C, you know, end up the things inside there happening is probably all about the same, see?
Yep.
So then you wouldn't have enough data. But I think constantly as a contractor, they have gone through a lot of different type of projects previously, and it's better because you can see from the old project what are the delays, you know, and then how much that affects the final cost and all that, see?
Mm-hmm.
So if you can access those data, I will say
Mm-hmm.
I really prefer that, see?
Okay.
Because now at the moment, if those package haven't finished, the final cost overrun you cannot see, you know?
No, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So you can
Okay.
use some current project and some old project, you know, and some that is finished, mostly that is finished, and then one or two that is, you know, on the way, almost finished, and then they already have cost overrun and how much that was actually the impact of that cost overrun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably get what you are looking at already. So I think it's doable. So you really need to do a bit of studies on, especially like I would prefer some SPSS and also some kind of correlation studies. You know, like at the end of the day, we will have how many days of delays that would cause how many days of I mean how much percentage of cost overrun. If you can come up with something like that, that is really worth the study.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that relationship, so you can even predict in the future that, you know, if we do have weather issues and the delay is X many days, it will cause XXX kind of effect on the cost base, you see. So that would be like so good. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you stick to that,
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, huh? So we aim to get that. Okay, we aim to get that at the end of the day. But as usual, research do tend to, you know, there will be like changing things as we go along. You know, it can end up to be a very uh simple thing that, you know, you don't get good marks. You know, but it can be a really outstanding work that, you know, like you really have a formula or something. You know, recently actually my team actually we did part of it was actually done by a girl in RP as well. And we did a formula for calculation of delays. I mean,
Oh.
sorry, calculation of duration. Like let's say before the project starts, we have a formula now, we key in certain things, and then we can tell you that this project should be 365 days or 542 days, you know, that kind of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
without doing scheduling, my formula can actually come up with that final study. And we base it on 5 years of JKR project, 92 project from JKR all over Sarawak. And the girl was actually collecting the data, and then she did the correlation, but it wasn't perfect, you know, but at least she actually came up with something. So
Mm-hmm.
we can finish a project like that. And it was really good, you know. So we had a professor to help her with that correlation as well. And then it was like the formula, the first draft was not perfect, like it was like still got error of 30+%, you know, for the formula. But we finish it, you know, because that's it, you know, we think that for our RP that is good enough already. So this is something that I'm looking for from you, you get what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
You know, like if you have a good correlation, then you have different category of delays with different category with their impact on cost, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you have enough of project collection data collection. You could do something like that, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. I'm inspired now by this particular topic.
Try lah. Yeah.
Okay. So, and Ngong, how?
Yes, doctor. I think I have no idea regarding my RP projects at the moment. Then I try to search another titles. I think something related to the slope.
So you don't want to do project management. You don't want to do operation and risk maintenance anymore.
Yeah, yes. I think I'm not very confident regarding to complete the RP projects. Yeah,
Okay.
I will try and try to serve with other supervisors.
Can. No problem. That's fine with me. Okay. You try to see if you can find slope. Slope is your tag, huh? But my
Yeah.
advice to you is don't embark onto anything that is lab related at the moment. If you want to do like modeling and all that technical ones, that would be the best. Modeling is one of the best. Are you good with modeling? If you're good with modeling, I can sort of introduce you to Dr. Lee. I remember I said that there's a polymer pulse project. They are going to the current students, they have already studied up to different sizes and different type of length and all that and different materials. Then by January and February, they will be doing modeling. They are going to be using this software called Abacus, and Dr. Lee will have a partner. Actually, it's her husband who is also a structural engineer PhD. He will teach you how to do the modeling, and then from there you will model like how this pile actually behave in the ground. Like if let's say you could put like how much load, if you push it from the side, how would it behave? And then you need to study the behavior from the modeling. And then after that, you will see what are the best optimized size and shape from the modeling, and then do a cost calculation. So if you're confident with a topic like that, that is very, very straightforward. Like things are very, I'm not sure whether what is your problem, but if it's like something that you don't know, you don't like to search, like you're very blur about things, you really don't know, you're not very good at searching for ideas and all that, then technical subject will be very specific for you. Like, you need to do this to get this result. And if that is your kind of subject, then I think it would be interesting to do that. Yeah.
I think later on I will see Dr.
You can think about it first, and then if you're interested, you let her know.
Okay.
I'm also part of that team of that particular project, so but I won't be supervising that project, but we are in the same team, so we discuss about it, so we know what is going on for that particular project. So if you want a very specific aim and objective type of research project that is given, most of the technical one will be able to give you that. Yeah.
Sure.
Top studies, there is many people. You can look for Dekang, you can look for Dr. Lina, you can look for Al-Siddiqui. Yeah, I think that would be a few good. Lina will be a very experienced lecturer. I mean, she's quite good with your tech. Dean can also, but Dean is a bit busy, so you probably find it a bit hard to find her, but she's a very good lecturer. Al-Siddiqui, I am not sure. I'm not very sure of his styles, so you can take a look. Yeah. These are the two lecturers you can explore if you're thinking about slope. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, but modeling, at least do computer modeling. There's no way at the moment technical subject. Okay, technical subject cannot run away from a few things. Number one, calculation. Number two, computer work. Number three, lab work. So I would say if any lecturers offer you lab work, don't take that, because we are really not sure when our lab will open. You can join, and then you can ask for special permission. You have to come to the lab here. There's no way you can do virtual. So for your case, who is in Kapik, lab work is out for you. Okay.
Okay.
So bear that in mind. So if you go for technical, there's only thing is calculation or
The computer
modeling.
modeling. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
So you,
Yeah.
you can go first. Yeah. Then I will finish up with Haiza and Rubun. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Bye bye. Okay. Haiza and Chang. So now your topic is pretty much set. So I need you to do this. I need you to number one, do your literature review. So your study will be into 6 chapters. 2 will be this semester, 2 will be next semester, and 2 will be the last Sem 3. Okay. So you have to finish your literature. I mean, for me, chapter 1 and 2, you don't go and write chapter 1. There's no such thing as writing chapter 1. Chapter 1 and 3 will be finished if your literature review is really good. Literature review talks about definition, talks about what is a topic all about, okay? And then it will follow on and talk about what are the problem areas that you see from, different authors who write about the topic, and they tell you, they say that there is issues with this, and that, And then after that, you form your problem statement. You see, so then in the last part of the literature review, you will do things like previous studies. So let's say for Chang's case, you will see you need to search if there's any correlation studies that has been done by other people in other universities or other part of the world, from Singapore, from China, from Hong Kong, from US, from Australia. If there's any papers or anything related to that kind of topic, then you can take their research as a previous research, and then you see how they do their research, and then you borrow some of the technique from them if you think that that is good, or you borrow a bit and then you modify, and that becomes your methodology. So literature review is basically in between chapter 1, 2, 3. Literature review is number 2. But the information that you get from literature review, that you write from literature review, first part of it will be summarized and it will go to your introduction. And then the second part of it will be the previous studies. It will go to your methodology, which is chapter 3. So if you do a good job for chapter 2, really up to standard, like information all day, your chapter 1 and 3 is basically done. Okay. So what I normally would do is you do a good chapter 2. I will take a long time on chapter 2, even up to week 6, week 7, week 8. I will force you to do your literature review. I will take you to correct until you really want to vomit. And then after that, if it's a really good literature review, up to week 9, then I will call a full stop. Okay, week 9 or week 10, I will call a full stop. And then you take that information and then you write your chapter 1. Your chapter 1, if you do a good literature review or a reasonable literature review, your chapter 1 will only take about 1 to 2 weeks to finish. And I will give it 2 weeks, okay? So let's say by week 12, you need to do your presentation. So by week 11, end of week 11, your chapter 1 should be ready, or before the presentation, your chapter 1 should be ready. So then you will present whatever you find in a literature review, and then your chapter 1, you present whatever that you see, the aim and objective of the project, the definition of the project, the aim and objective, the problem statement, the scope of studies. That is what you present for your chapter 1. So that will be the timeline that we're working with. And then after your exam, if your literature review is still not very good, so that few weeks during the break time, I will get you to, repair again. And then after that, once the semester starts, some of my students are really not happy with the literature review. It will flow into Sem 2, like maybe the first 1 or 2 weeks. Okay. But because the Sem 2 also have data collection, that would be very critical. You need to finish everything. You need to finish your methodology by week 4 or week 3, 2 or 3. You need to finish your methodology, and then we will give you about 8 weeks or so. No, cannot be 8 weeks now, because in your case, you will be presenting week 12. So meaning that you only have about 6 weeks or so for data collection. And then you do your presentation. Okay. So, but some people, they really cannot finish all the data collection. At least you got part of the data collection. Like let's say Chang case, you need to do 12 projects to do correlation, but you've only done 6. So you present that 6 first, okay? And then when it comes to SEM 3, we'll get you to finish your data collection, because SEM 3 is only discussion and conclusion. So then if discussion and conclusion, it's going to be mostly is writing. As long as the data is ready, the discussion and conclusion should be a lot faster. Okay, so that is how we will run the whole project. So I hope that at the moment you don't think so much, you just follow my timeline, and we will go step by step. We'll finish our literature review first, and hopefully you don't have to do any repair work. The moment your exam finish, I will get you to finish writing your chapter 3, and then by the time your semester start for SEM 2, straight away you go for data collection. That will be the best target. You understand, huh? Haiza and Chang, you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I need you all to do your literature review. This is only week 1. You've already more or less confirmed on your topic. And I would let Dr. Leonard know that the 2 of you are my students, unless you go back today and then you feel like, okay, I don't want to follow Dr. Thing, and you let me know earlier, then I don't have to submit your name, you know? Yeah. If that's the case, if you're very sure we are going to be proceeding with this, so I need the both of you to actually do your literature review first. And then today is today is week 1, 13. I would say you need to give me your first draft. Like a draft around maybe 29, end of the month. So that's week 3. So I will monitor you 3 weeks, like that, to see how you go. 3 weeks, and then I will meet you, say, you submit to me on 29, then I'll meet you, say, the following week, week 4, Monday or Tuesday, early in the morning, or during lunchtime, if let's say Chang is a bit more easy for you, like we can do it over lunchtime, say around 12, you know. So right, so what you need to do is literature review. This is the same, it's applicable for the both of you. Okay, I need you to draft up to, at the moment, search for as many papers, as many authors. Books wise, I'm not so crazy about books because that will be basic definition. So for Haiza case, you need to define occupational health and study occupational. What is occupational health? What is occupational safety? What are the definition given by different authors, you know, and all that. And then you follow in and talk about occupational health and safety in the construction industry. Normally, I like to start, my style is I like to think of a pyramid. The top of the pyramid, like a pyramid is like top small, bottom big, correct or not? So you flip the pyramid the other way around. So you've got a very big upside down pyramid. So now your literature review is like a storytelling. You need to do what is the big picture? What is the construction industry? So the construction industry, like for Haiza case, is industry that is supported by say different workers, different people, you know, a lot of labor, and those labor are what they are general labor, semi-skilled labor, they are management people, they are supervisors, they are professionals. You know, you talk about the big picture of people, you know, like a big thing, like you talk few paragraph about the construction industry and the people involved in the construction industry and how they must look after, kind of thing, you know. And then from there you move into talking about, you know, people working on site, occupational health and safety, and you start to define that occupational health and safety, and then follow in and talk about the importance of occupational health and safety, and then you move on and talk about the current situation, what is happening in Malaysia in terms of occupational health and safety, and besides that, you know, you can bring in things like COVID and all that. So then you see your pyramid gets smaller and smaller and smaller as you go down. You understand what I'm trying to say? Okay.
Yep,
The
yep.
time case also say, so your topic is you probably, because you're talking about time and cost. So you talk about how important the construction industry is, like how it generates so much economy, how there's so much project in the industry. There's so many things that is going on. But, as you go along, you talk about, it's so important to manage project properly. And then what to manage? You need to manage time, you need to manage cost, you need to manage quality, and then you move down again and talk about time, cost, how do you define time, how do you define cost, how do you manage time, how do you manage cost? And if that doesn't happen well, if it's not being well done, then what's going to happen? There's going to be delay. Then you do the whole definition of delay. Then you do a whole definition of cost overrun. It must be very solid, by different authors, and then as you move down your pyramid, you talk about cost and time. So now the story starts to get into the highlight of the topic, time and cost. So what's going to happen? So maybe you can see that some authors say that time are always treated differently. They talk about delays, and the costs are, being discussed differently. So then now in your project, you want to combine time and cost and see what you can do to correlate time and cost. You see, so we cannot just say that, oh, I want to correlate because there's no such thing, there is no such project. You need to find a reason to correlate them. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Confusing for you, like the topic is there, So, but then we need to go backwards now and find the reason for the topic. So that is true literature review. So then the first bit is easy. You have a lot of definition and all that, not just that definition, the causes of delays, the impact of delays. And then if you can say that the causes the impact of delays and one of the impact is the cost overrun, then you can move in and talk about cost overrun. You see the picture, that pyramid that goes from, I will type it up here, from construction to manage to managing to construction. You need to, because construction is such an important industry, you need to manage your project. So from managing the project, what are you managing? You need to manage time, cost, quality. One of them is then this time and cost will sort of pop up already. Every section that you do, you need to have a summary of what that section is all about. So it's like a storytelling. At the end of every chapter, you need to tell the audience that you get from the above. So from the above, we understand that time and cost is a very important element of project management. So what is time? And then you talk about time. You talk about time, the importance of time management, techniques of time management, and all that, and then followed by if time is not fulfilled, then it will be delays. So what are the typical causes of delays? Categories of delays. Anything on delays, study of delays, and then blah blah blah. You go deeper and deeper and deeper into a delay and what is the impact of delay. And then when you finish with impact of delay, one of them will probably be cost overrun. You see? So then you move in and talk about cost overrun. Yeah, then
storytelling the style.
Yeah, like that is how you do your literature review. Okay, so in cost overrun, we can talk about the impact of cost overrun and different projects that have problems with cost overrun. How many projects in Malaysia actually have cost overrun? And then typically what are the percentage of projects that has a cost overrun? What are the percentage of overrun itself? In different projects, and then how overrun are typically resolved, and all that. But this is all from different authors, not from you at all.
Yeah.
So literature review, we are trying to see what other people say so that you are building up your case. You see whatever I'm doing here is actually trying to build up your case, you see. So then towards the end of this, you start to see that, now you want to relate, overrun with delay, you see. So you need to
Mm-hmm.
build up a gap here. So at the end of it, you have a gap to build up. So after you finish talking about overrun, then you must be able to have the inspiration now. What is the gap here between delays and overrun? So we'll talk about that as we come to that point. Okay?
Okay.
Think about that. So once you can actually see the gap from all the literature that you see already on overrun, on delays, on impact, and all that, then you will start to see, okay, I think there is a reason why I'm studying this topic. And then if you start to get that gap study, you're almost done with the first section already.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So it's time to actually prepare. And I want offers that are talking about at least 2010 to 2021. I don't need literature that is earlier than this. You can have anything 2008, 2006. If anything that is 1998 and all that, don't bother, Kaiser and Chan. Those
Mm-hmm.
1990s kind of data, no matter how important they are, unless it's so important, unless it was the main outstanding research at that point in time, otherwise we're not very concerned. Okay, so anything that is less than 2010 should not take about more than 30% of the literature review. It has to be more latest development, latest ideas and all that from your studies. Okay,
Yep.
from the topic that you're looking at, presenting. Not more than 30%. So most of it 70% will probably come from 2010 to 2021. So when you write your literature review, make sure that you take from this author, you quickly put down the author's name and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go and search and put everything together and later on you have to go back and try to find the authors.
Yeah, sure.
So you need to find journals. That would be the best. I think for both of your topic, journals will be very good. I mean, it is not a very new topic, but so there will be a lot of information, a lot of studies, a lot of research that has been carried out on that. So go for journals. And for Haiza's case, I think towards the end, we do want to focus on occupational health and safety in general in terms of legislation, how the legislation actually address occupational health and safety, and the legislation will actually come from, you will be mentioning things like construction industries, and the people in the construction industry, the labor and all that, and then OHS, OSHA, and the different legislation at the moment that is talking about OSHA, such as the Occupational Health and Safety Act, the Occupational Health and Safety Act, the Food and Machinery Act, at CIDB, Green Card program and all that. You need to talk all about this in your literature review and how they cover OSHA. Okay. Then and then you need to talk also about like what DOSH, the Occupational Health and Safety Department, NIOSH, DOSH, these people, I mean, these are all organizations, these are all legislative kind of things. Then from there, you need to summarize that there is a lot of things in the legislation that talks about construction, related to construction industries, on OSHA. Okay. Then you need to prove that, maybe you must have data talking about site accidents, and site accidents, problems with OSHA on site, that all this data you must have. And then you can bring in COVID, etc., etc. And then I don't know how much we want to focus on COVID at the moment, but I think it should be part of it is COVID, but not the entire thesis is COVID. If we do end up have a lot of data in COVID, then we'll probably change the topic to COVID related, like really a COVID OSHA studies, we will see how you go, because I cannot tell you now also, because I don't know how much data that are available out there on COVID on site and all that, then that shows you that there are still problems related to OSHA. What are the problems related to OSHA in construction? Is it compliances? People are not doing it. Is it lack of what? What is the problems? And what are the causes, etc. So these are the things that you need to explore first. Then you will start to see that, okay, now, then where are the problems? Then from there you will sort of get a feel about your problem statement, So these are the things that I need you guys to do in the first 3 weeks to get the feel. At the end of the day, by the end of week 3, if you can tell me that, week 4, you can tell me that, my topic is so important because I read up this and these are the things that was there, So you want to establish what we call the gap of research, gap of studies. Which is your topic? Okay.
Okay.
So for very good students, they will catch this quite quick, and then by the time the first draft will be quite organized, and then I only need you all to add in things for the first draft, and then by week 6, things will be looking really good in terms of problem statement and gap of studies already. That will be the best scenario. And the last 3 weeks, I will let you guys look for previous studies and how you're going to go about doing this research and what are the techniques that are available out there. Those are part 2 of the literature review. So this 6 weeks is critical for you to really understand your topic, get a feel about why you want to do this topic. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So, okay. So I think that's all from me. I will send you the recording later. Okay. I've recorded down these sessions. If you need to go back to this, and then you can come, you can look at it. I put your thing on the chat group also. You can just copy and paste.
Yeah.
Okay, Haiza, you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Be strong about your determination. I mean, none of this is going to happen without determination. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So your draft, you need to hand it in to me by first draft. Today is Wednesday, 29. We'll go for 29. Okay, Friday.
Okay.
29 of October. Which is about
Yeah, sure.
2 weeks plus. Yeah, 2 weeks plus. Yeah. We'll see how we go. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Any question from the both of you?
No, I'm okay with it.
Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.